On today's episode of TechNav, I go retro. Hey YouTube, what is happening? This is Nav, and you're probably wondering what the heck have I got on my desk today? Well, I'm going to show you and I'm going to tell you. First of all, I took this device and showed my kids, my 9-year-old, 11-year-old and 13-year-old. I asked them and showed them, what do you think this is? My 9-year-old didn't know, my 11-year-old didn't know, and my 13-year-old, she said it was a radio. And I said, you're close, but that's not the exact answer. But even then, she didn't know. As many of you, maybe my younger audience, you might not know what this device is either. However, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, you know exactly what this is. That's right, this is a radio and cassette player, to be exact. Now you're probably wondering, the younger guys, what the hell is a cassette? Well, the cassette is this little thing here. This used to have audio files on it. Now before the digital downloads, before the MP3s, before the CDs, there used to be cassettes. Even before the CDs, there used to be some mini discs as well, but we'll talk about that later, or you can research that yourself. But we used to have cassettes in the 80s and 90s, or even before that as well. Now I grew up listening to these. Now what you do is you take your included headphones and plug them in as you would normally do on any music device, and you would insert a cassette. Now one of my childhood favorites were the Michael Jackson Bad cassette. We'd insert the cassette, boom, and we would press play. Can you hear that? And then stop to stop it. Now, after playing a few tracks, you had to turn the other side. So there was A side and there was B side. So right now on the B side, there's a different tracks on. Press play. Awesome. Now this is probably a similar model to what I used to have when I was a kid. However, the rich kids, later on, when I had a little bit more money, I used to invest in a Sony Walkman. Now this was the top dog at the time. The best personal radio cassette players at the time, the Sony Walkmans. And this device has got auto reverse in it, so you didn't have to take the cassette out and turn it around and put it back in again. This had auto reverse, etc. Now you kids from the 21st century are probably wondering, why do guys from the 80s and 90s have big arms? It's because we used to curl these bad boys all day. These were heavy devices, but even more so, the people even used to, some people were even carrying big stereos on their shoulders. That was like a full workout and a half. So absolutely crazy days at the time. Now let's just have a quick look at this Aywa model. Now on the front you will see there are a couple of slider switches for treble, bass and super bass, and on there you've got your megahertz for your radio selectors. So on the top you've got a slider switch to scroll through the radio signals, and you've got an option from choosing tape or radio. And on the left hand side you've got your FM stereo, you got your middle stereo, and you've got your AM on the right. So these are mono sounds. So the AM and the middle FM is mono sound. And on the top you've got your play button, you've got your rewind button, you've got forward button and your stop button, and you've got your volume slider switch on the right. And on the left you've got your ear guard, which is off, and 1 and 2 to keep the volume down if you or if somebody comes up to you and you quickly want to put the ear guard on, you can turn that down as well. And on the back side you've got your DC 3-volt charger port, and on the rear you've got the battery compartment, which it takes 2 AA's. That's the Aywa. Now if you look at the Sony, this is a premium device. This is the Sony Walkman WM-GX688 recording Walkman. Now this is digital. We've got your radio on and band. We've got your enter for counting, the counter reset button. You got your menu to select your presets, and you've got your play button and repeat if you want to repeat a particular song or you want to repeat the whole side. You've got your forward and rewind buttons, and you've got your stop button on the front too. And you've also got the record function if you want to use this as a dictating device. On the side, you've got your earphone jack, and you've got your plug-in microphone jack, and I don't know what this is, ISS123. I have no idea, guys. I'll check on the manual and see what that is. And you've got your volume on this side. And on the other side, you've got your battery compartment, and which is a Sony specific battery. So this is like a unique Sony NIMH battery, rechargeable battery. And you can also attach an adapter where you can attach a single AA battery as well. You've got your eject button on the top to eject and insert cassettes, and on the rear it's just got a clear window to show that the cassette is actually playing, and you've got some information on this on the bottom too. The remote is quite simple. You've got your stop, play and reverse button. You've got your forward and rewind button, and you've got your volume, and you've got your hold button there as well, so you don't accidentally press any buttons. And you've got your standard earbuds, you've got your right and left. So these are the two Walkmans that I purchased. Right guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, do hit that like button, it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't already done so, consider subscribing to my channel, and also hit that notification bell, because you'll be the first to know when my videos are out. And until next time, take care. If you do like this video,
hey dude, D-O-O-D, dude. Hey dude. Dude.